Columbo fans know the drill. A crime is committed, the killer is revealed up front, and our persistent lieutenant unravels the truth with his famous "just one more thing." But in 1976, something unexpected happened. The series threw away its trusted formula, delivering an episode so unusual that fans and critics are still debating it nearly 50 years later. This was Last Salute to the Commodore, the strangest, most divisive Columbo ever made. A story filled with surreal directing choices, eccentric performances, and a mystery that refused to play by the rules. And within it are moments you may never have noticed. From on-set improvisation that slipped into the final cut, to a hidden detail in the closing shot that some fans claim changes the way you see the ending entirely. So sit back, and let's unravel why this one episode left Columbo fans arguing for decades. Fact 1. The formula break. Every Columbo episode follows a how catch 'em formula. You don't wonder who the killer is. You wonder how Columbo will catch them. But not this time. Last Salute to the Commodore begins with the Commodore dead. And for once, we don't know who did it. This is the only true whodunit in the entire Columbo catalog. Fans who tuned in that night were baffled. Some even thought NBC had made a mistake, airing a different kind of mystery altogether. As one reviewer in Variety later put it, for the first time, the audience was just as lost as the lieutenant. And the bold decision to break the formula would ripple through everything that followed. In fact, the consequences of that twist get even stranger as the story unfolds. But we'll come back to that. If you love uncovering hidden TV secrets like this, hit subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Fact 2. Patrick McGoohan's bold direction. The man behind this change. Patrick McGoohan, the maverick actor-director best known for The Prisoner. McGoohan was famous for surreal, experimental touches. He directed this episode like an art house drama rather than a crime mystery. Long pauses, improvisational dialogue, lingering stares. It didn't always feel like Columbo. Peter Falk later admitted McGoohan was unlike any other director he worked with. Patrick would say, "Slow it down, let the silence talk," Falk recalled in an interview. For some actors, that freedom worked. For others, it left them stranded. And the strangest part? Even Peter Falk himself seemed to bend with that tone. And in one scene, it looks like he might even be in on a private joke. We'll come back to that later. Fact 3. Did Falk break character? Peter Falk was Columbo, and he took the role seriously. But here, in one scene, it looks as if Falk himself couldn't resist the absurdity. Even die-hard fans on Columbo forums point to this scene as the moment the fourth wall nearly cracked. When Columbo and Joanna lay eyes on each other after the big reveal, Falk lets the silence hang just a beat too long. He locks eyes with her, then almost smirks, as though he and the audience are sharing the same thought. This is absurd, isn't it? It's a fleeting moment, but it's as if Falk knew the tone had shifted, and he decided to join the audience in acknowledging it. Fact 4. Robert Vaughn's role. At the center of suspicion was Robert Vaughn, television royalty from The Man from U.N.C.L.E., the Commodore's arrogant son-in-law. From his very first scene, he radiates disdain. He seemed destined to be the killer. In fact, contemporary TV guides highlighted Vaughn in their blurbs, which made the twist even more of a shock. Many fans felt cheated when he wasn't revealed as the killer. After all, he seemed like the perfect suspect. Which is exactly what made the later reveal so shocking. Vaughn wasn't the culprit at all. The episode set him up as the obvious choice, then pulled the rug right out. Fact 5. An ensemble of suspects. Unlike most Columbos, this story wasn't a duel between the lieutenant and a single mastermind. Instead, it was a crowded house of suspects. The Commodore's daughter Joanna, her fiancé, Charles Clay, the lawyer, all shifting, all bickering. For some fans, this felt fresh. It was like watching Poirot with a raincoat, one critic quipped. Others found it messy. With too many suspects, Columbo's usual razor-sharp focus seemed to blur. At times, it played more like an Agatha Christie stage play than a Columbo episode. This choice divided fans. Some loved the richness of multiple suspects, others found it chaotic and unfocused. Either way, it marked the episode as a true outlier. Fact 6. Columbo's strange behavior. And it wasn't just the suspects behaving oddly. Columbo himself seemed different. He rambled more. He cracked odder jokes. He even tugged on people's noses, something we almost never saw. Actor Wilfred Hyde-White, who played Kittering, later recalled in an interview that Falk improvised a lot of the quirks that day. Some worked, some didn't. But McGoohan encouraged the experiments. Was it Peter Falk experimenting, or McGoohan's direction pushing him to exaggerate? We'll never know. But for many viewers, it was jarring, like watching a familiar friend suddenly act out of character. Fact 7. The ending tease. As the credits rolled, eagle-eyed viewers spotted something unusual. A final nod to the episode's title, hiding in plain sight. Did you catch it? If not, don't worry. We'll come back to it before the end. Fact 8. Critical backlash. Critics were merciless. Many called it one of the weakest Columbo episodes ever aired. Some fans hated the whodunit format. Others found the pacing slow, and Falk's odd performance baffling. The Los Angeles Times called it an experiment in tone that misfired. Yet on fan boards today, you'll still find defenders who call it brave and ahead of its time. One fan wrote, "I hated it at 12 years old. I loved it at 50. And yet, some viewers defend it fiercely, calling it a brave experiment that gave us a one-of-a-kind Columbo story. Divisive? Absolutely. Forgettable? Never. Fact 9. Legacy of the experiment. Even if it frustrated many, Last Salute to the Commodore proved one thing: Columbo could stretch beyond its formula. Patrick McGoohan himself later joked that it was a chance to blow the dust off the raincoat. And Falk, though critical at times, admitted he enjoyed the freedom to play. In later years, Peter Falk would occasionally push boundaries again, though never this far. And Patrick McGoohan. He'd return to direct 4 more Columbos, cementing his mark on the series. In fact, his fingerprints were all over Columbo's later years. Fact 10. The hidden ending. So what was that final nod we teased earlier? As Columbo rose away in the closing shot, some sharp-eyed fans claim they've spotted the Commodore's broken pocket watch dangling in the boat, a tiny detail that seems to echo his fate. Whether you catch it yourself or not, it's one of those subtle touches that keeps fans debating the episode decades later. From its broken formula to its surreal tone, Last Salute to the Commodore remains the episode that fans argue about more than any other. Was it a bold experiment or a misfire? Either way, it gave us moments of intrigue, odd humor, and a final shot that still sparks debate nearly 50 years later. So what do you think? Is Last Salute a forgotten gem, or Columbo at his weakest? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more hidden stories from the shows and films you thought you knew.